Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City just a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling a home in the area, or if you're looking at investing in a rental property, give us a call at 423-930-8003, and we will look forward to helping you. Now, let's get to today's episode.
It's a beautiful day here in Johnson City. It's actually kind of like, I was in the shade a minute ago with the wind. It almost felt cool, which is very odd for July. But I'm excited that it's cool. I'm excited more so for you guys to meet my friend once again, second time on the podcast, Tosha Yoder with Visit Johnson City.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
So what's been going on in a year since you've been on the podcast?
Really and truly just been getting ready for the festival. All the moving pieces.
And Meet the Mountains is a big deal, isn't it?
Oh, yes. This is now its 7th year running. This is the 3rd year under Visit Johnson City. When it originally started, it was under NetRep, which don't ask me to remember what the acronym stands for.
Go ahead and make up something. Just kidding.
Northeast Tennessee. Yeah, I can't remember.
Rappers
Regional.
encouraging people.
There you go. That was it. But no, really, it takes at least 9 months to a year to fully plan out the festival. And so now being the 1st of July, it's time to really start getting the more physical pieces in place. And so that's what we've been working on.
Okay, we're going to hit it over and over and over for our listeners. What are the dates of the Meet the Mountains Festival?
The dates this year are August 9th and 10th.
August 9th and 10th,
Yes.
and it's at Winged.
Yes, Winged Deer Park. It's specifically the lakefront area. So if you've gone to the softball fields, turn around and come back.
That's right. And for you people who don't live here, you don't know what we're talking about.
That's right.
But you'll still find it when you see the winged deer flying across the sky, and just follow him, and he lands by the lake all the time.
That's right.
It's crazy. So do you want to tell us why it's called Winged Deer Park or Winged Deer Park?
Actually, I have no clue.
Okay.
I mean, my guess is as best as yours in terms of there's an actual deer that flies by.
I think there must have been. Maybe they were going so fast
We just can't see it.
we couldn't see. Well, it looked like they were flying.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
That's what I was thinking. They were flying through the grass. All right. So we got a little off track because we want to keep hitting Meet the Mountains, Meet the Mountains, Meet the Mountains, because Google's picking it up right now. They're like, oh, cool. Meet the Mountains Festival.
Yeah.
August 9th and 10th. There you go. And Johnson City Living, you live in Johnson City.
I do.
What is your favorite thing about Johnson City?
Wow. That's a great question. I would say just the accessibility to the outdoors. My family and I have lived here for the last 16 years now. And just to be able to know that I have taken my youngest child, starting at the age of 2, up to Carver's Gap to hike, up to the first bald, it's incredible. We couldn't have ever done anything like that staying in Indiana.
Yeah. Indiana's pretty flat. And
Yes, very much so. Lots of corn.
we build corn husked mountains so that we can get up above 10 feet off the
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I shouldn't be hating on Indiana. It's a nice place. But if you live in Indiana and you're listening, move here to Johnson City. We have real mountains.
Absolutely.
So come on down. So where did you grow up in Indiana?
I did. I grew up in a little farm town just northeast of Indianapolis.
Nice. And how did you come to Johnson City?
So originally my husband went to Emmanuel, and that's what brought us down here. And he was a part of Emmanuel before it was absorbed into Milligan.
Yes. Now is he teaching at Milligan?
He does not. He is a part-time chaplain and has a full-time job.
Nice.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So accessibility to getting up on the mountains.
Yes.
And the balls are gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're coming up on probably, is the Rhododendron Festival already happened? Probably.
I believe it's close. I don't remember exactly when it happened.
Yeah. Maybe our producer can look up when the Rhododendron Festival is and put it in the notes, because it's beautiful.
Yes.
And then you can go up on the balls too, and it's just like a double whammy. What does life in Johnson City look like for you?
Just in general?
Yeah. I mean, like, tell our listeners, like, day to day, you and your husband, you got 3 kids.
Sure.
Just like take them through a life in the Yoder family.
Okay. We have a really great neighborhood. We live in one of the more established neighborhoods. I mean, our house was built in the 70s, so our neighborhood's been around for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
So we really like just walking around our neighborhood often. But when we're not doing things in the neighborhood, like for Fridays after 5, my girls especially like to come downtown. I have introduced, I think, each one of my kids to each of the local coffee shops that we have, and there are plenty.
What's your favorite?
Our family favorite is Blues Brews.
Okay.
But to be able to meet for business, I like to go to Dos Gatos.
Okay.
So.
How's it open doors this morning? We'll give them a shout out too.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so
and we do like the Moon as well.
So yes, Brett brings us coffee frequently. So
Nice.
your kids like coming downtown. What else
Yes.
you guys like to do in Johnson City?
Just anything that downtown has to offer in particular. Again, Fridays after 5, the kids like coming down to Founders just to hang out around the park. We have a dog, and of course, Founders is a great place to walk around with your dog.
It is.
And either to meet other people and walk, or just to walk by yourself.
Yeah.
We really enjoy doing that too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And how old are your kids again? You had a senior, you told me.
I do. Oldest is 17, middle is 13, and then the youngest is 11.
Okay. Talk about schools here a little bit for your kids and your experience there for listeners as well coming to town.
Sure. We've had all 3 of our kids in all of the school systems. So our youngest child is just now moving into middle school, but she was at Fairmont before, and now we'll have 2 at Indian Trail, and then Tyler will be at Science Hill, which we've had a wonderful time with all the schools.
Yeah.
There's great communication between the teachers and the parents. Fairmont was just, I don't know, Fairmont's just this happy little place. I don't know how else to describe it.
No.
Both our middle and youngest child went there, and they were both there during the pandemic. And I don't think we could have asked for a better school system for them to be at during that. And Tyler has really just found his own at Science Hill. He doesn't necessarily have a group of friends that he calls, his best friends or anything, but he still feels welcomed enough there.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. Yeah. I think over and over people call and they ask me about the school system, and I'm like, it's great. Overall, I mean, it's just fantastic. And even county schools are great because I think our teachers love the kids. Like, I mean, it's like they're highly invested. It's not like they're just checking a box, punching the clock. They love the kids, want to see them flourish and grow and get involved. And
yeah, they really do. And we've even had a couple of teachers from the high school ask us, does Tyler want to be a part of any clubs? And we've always given him the option, but it's just always been maybe we'll think about it.
Yeah.
But I just appreciate, that the teachers are so invested and they do reach out and are encouraging.
Yeah. Our Johnson City school system is awesome. And then life's going to be a little easier because you got 2 at Indian Trail, and Tyler's probably driving himself.
Yes.
Like you're going to be like, holy cow, I don't know what to do. This is good.
All 3 of our kids will be out of the house by 7 a.m. every morning for school.
This is amazing. Oh, that's funny. All right. Back to you and your role.
Sure.
Tell me the name of your position at Johnson City.
So I am the event coordinator at Visit Johnson City.
Okay.
So my role primarily focuses on Meet the Mountains when it comes due, but I also help to bring in other events to Johnson City as well. I helped to bring in a Shiloh Shepherd dog show earlier this year in April.
That's a mouthful. Say that 5 times fast.
And it was a huge success. More successful, I think, than the event planners on their side had even thought that it would be.
Oh, that's cool.
Because we naturally had people just walking over to see what was going on. It happened to be at Founders Park, which, again, that's something that they're not necessarily used to as far as a public space setting. But again, they had folks just walking over and watching these beautiful dogs get judged and just walk around and prance around and have a good time. So
that's fun.
It was a wonderful event, and we're really hoping that they'll be back next year. So far, the outlook is good. So.
Gotcha. That's cool. Okay, so what's your background? How did you become an event coordinator for the city of Johnson City?
It's a really great question. My background is actually psychology. So I'm not really using my degree all that much.
I don't know. I think you're thinking about how people would think and enjoy the event. And then you're like, okay, this is how we're going to do it.
There is some psychology to this position, but not quite to the degree.
And there's probably some crazies that show up occasionally you have to deal with.
Yeah. But that comes from just my customer service background too.
And I told you I wouldn't come anymore because you threw me out that one time.
I was previously working for a couple of financial advisors, and the time for me to leave just kept feeling closer and closer. And I saw that the position had been posted, and my husband basically told me I'd be an idiot if I didn't try for it. So here we are.
I'm sure he doesn't think that is the case at all.
No.
But he's probably really proud of you and glad
yes,
which is
very much
super cool. Okay, so let's talk about the event that you've been planning for 9 months.
Yeah.
So August 8th and 9th,
No.
no,
August
9th and
9th
10th. 9th and
yes.
10th. Don't come on the 8th unless you want to help set up.
That's right. Absolutely. We can certainly use any other volunteers. We've got a pretty good pool right now, but we can always use more.
Always use more hands, make
That's right.
light work is what
That's
we
right.
always say.
Yes.
Okay. So what time does it start on the 9th?
So it starts at 4:00 in the afternoon, which seems like an odd time. And
most people have jobs.
We at least recognize that, yeah. But for those folks that might be picking up their kids after school and maybe are looking for something to do for the evening, we kind of keep that time frame available so that they can just come over to the park.
Is that a Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Friday on the 9th, it'll start at 4 p.m. and we'll go until 9. And then Saturday on the 10th, we'll start things off at 10 o'clock and we'll go until 8.
Okay.
So.
And that's when the winged deer comes flying through.
That's right.
Runs everybody off.
That's right.
So tell me about the events that are happening to where like, oh, this will be interesting for our listeners to come check out.
Sure. We've got zip lining. We've got a rock wall.
Can you zip line into the lake?
Not quite. This is in Doe River.
Doe River for that one.
But the zip line will be, I don't want to say closer to the lake, but kind of like next to the lake.
Yeah.
So you'll get to zip line and buy and see it. Yes.
There you go.
We'll have a rock wall again. We'll also have the Sorba Bikes course back, which we weren't able to secure last year because of some cost and staffing issues on their end.
What kind of bike?
Sorba.
Sorba.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Again, don't ask me what it stands for. It's a Tri-Cities Regional Bike Group.
Association or something. Yeah. I have heard that acronym.
Okay. But they'll be bringing their little obstacle course again this year with bikes. Cool. Yep. So zip line, rock wall, bikes course.
Weren't there kayaks or something?
Kayaks, yes, with a demo. They call it the demo pool because that's what we're used to having at Founders. Right. But again, it will be stand-up paddle boards and kayaks in the water this year.
That'll be fun.
Yes.
Yeah. And lots of other vendors show up too, right?
Oh, yeah. So far, we're up to 93 vendors, I believe.
Mitch and I like fried stuff. Are they going to have like fried Oreos?
Oh, yeah. What? I don't know about fried Oreos. That's more of a fair food.
Oh, okay.
I will say we do try to curate some of that and try not to make it
more
totally a fair
healthy
food.
event. We don't want to have like funnel cakes and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, we are going to have popcorn.
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. And who all would want to come to something like this?
Oh, anyone outdoor minded whatsoever.
Yeah.
But we also want to encourage families who might not get the chance, whether it's cost, whether it's time, or whether it's both, to be able to come out and experience something for free.
Yeah. And we, there are so many great spots around here, but I took our family, we went to Buffalo Mountain and the overlook for the sunset the other day. And I've made it my screensaver. It is beautiful up there. Yes. Cost us $0.
That's right.
The hike took us 15 minutes maybe. Mm-hmm. And so I told some friends and they did it when they just closed on their house yesterday, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Stephen and Erica, congratulations if you're listening. And they took their 4 girls up there and it was just great.
Oh, so the Huckleberry Knob.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know the name of it. Yeah.
Yes, because you have Huckleberry Knob, which is the more like 10 to 15 minutes.
That one looks
easy,
back over
very easy.
Johnson City. Yeah.
Yes. And then there's also the Noggin Trail, which is much more difficult.
I had done that one too.
Okay.
Go all the way
that
to the
leads
top.
up to White Rock. Yep. Yeah. And our kids have done that one too. That's typically not their choice. But
they're like, hey, let's go to Huckleberry and go to Dairy Queen.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah. I think that's a good one. So what are some other great, I guess, ways for families to get, because one of the things you said was, I love the outdoors.
Sure.
So what are some other things besides that, like to get your family, that would be easy, get them outside when they come to visit, or maybe just for families who've been here forever.
Sure.
And they're like, that's a great idea. We never go hike Buffalo Mountain. We think it, you see it as ominous from the road.
And that's one thing.
Really,
well, no, but Buffalo Mountain in particular is one that we at Visit Johnson City really try to push for people to go to, because again, you do have the varying degrees of, you have a 10-minute hike versus a much more moderate to hard hike.
Right.
And that could be done by that could be done by anyone. But they also have a really great little seating area out there at Huckleberry Knob. And just having people understand that it's literally just a 10-minute away drive.
Right.
Rather than, thinking you have to drive 40, 50 minutes to Roan Mountain and Carver's Gap.
Yeah.
Which again, equally beautiful, but Buffalo Mountain is right
10 minutes
right
away.
there.
Like if you were at the McDonald's by ETSU, or if you're just on the campus of ETSU, I mean, like,
Yeah.
you're 10 minutes, literally.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And it's so nice. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So,
But we do have some really great parks just in general. And I think Winged Deer and Willow Springs Park as well both get, I don't want to say a bad rap, but because they are so much on the outside of Johnson City that folks don't realize, again, that that's just another 10-minute drive away.
Yeah.
To just some gorgeous views, gorgeous parks. Willow Springs is one of our absolute favorite parks as well.
Yeah.
Because it is outside of town. You get to go back to that little pond area and see all the turtles that are back there. Lots of dogs all over the place.
Yeah.
And just that really great vista once you do get past the parking lot and the playground of the mountains just right there in the background.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. Yeah, I was trying to think of the other one I had in my mind too. It's great. Oh, Tannery.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So you can, I mean, if you're a biker, you love, I mean, we've gone there once. I hate to say it, but I'd like to go more.
Sure.
But it's just, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're downtown Johnson, like where we are right now, we can be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We could be riding around, jumping on our bikes in 5 minutes, which is fun.
And it's, again, just one of those things where you don't realize how close it is until you get up there and you go, oh, this was really just right here the whole time.
What would be some tricks and tips for our families listening to, like, that you guys are thinking about a lot of times? Like, are you planning these out during the week? Like, hey, we're going to go here this Saturday. We're going to do this for, just because a lot of families, it seems like we're so busy.
Sure.
And we look back and we're like, man, we should have gone to the park this week and we didn't,
We try, but I'm also very lucky to have friends that are sporadic. And if we do have gaps in our time in the evening, it's, hey, a few of us are going to go down to Founders Park. Would you and your kids want to come down too? Yeah, sure. That sounds great. Just trying to find those little moments of, well, we don't have time tonight, but we do have time tomorrow night, and just making some small plans like that.
Yeah, that's cool. And I had a couple people recently, and I was actually surprised, and maybe it was more on their side, but they felt like they didn't get plugged into Johnson City.
Sure.
And I was like, okay. And so on my side of it, I'm kind of like, maybe they didn't and put out a lot of effort. But what would be some good ways for people who are new to town to get plugged in?
So I'm going to immediately say the visitor center. And that's a large part because we're trying to bridge the gap between not just us and the visitor, but also us and the resident.
Yeah.
Our visitor center doesn't offer just visitors information and more about Johnson City. It offers our residents that same information because, again, we're finding out that people just don't know quite a bit about Johnson City, even some of the historical pieces of Johnson City that they wouldn't have known otherwise. All of that is available for anyone to just come and either talk to Kelly, talk to Mark, talk to Linda, or just, come upstairs and talk to one of us at the visitor center, and you'll find out more than you realized about Johnson City.
Yeah. And then you guys can probably figure out what their interests are and direct them in that way. And, we know somebody who's into macrame like Mitch. And he's macrame over there. Whatever it might be. And
we also do well to offer regional information as well. I mean, obviously we're going to promote Johnson City as much as we can, but
this is the best.
That's right. But we also, even around our interactive theater, we have pictures of Bristol Motor Speedway, Hands-On Discovery Center, Jonesboro downtown. And so it's not just Johnson City that we're trying to help promote and offer to folks that are stopping through.
Let's move into regionalism. What do you think about the region as a whole and how we work together? I think historically, when I was growing up, it was like, holy smokes, we're going to Bristol. It's like 30 minutes away or 20 minutes away, and then I married a lady from Bristol, and so her family's been there, and we've been a million times, and you're like, oh, it's 20 minutes or 25 minutes. It's not a big deal. Same with Kingsport, right? We used to go to Piccadilly. I remember my parents loved to go to Piccadilly until we got one here in Johnson City, which was a big thing. And now we don't have a Piccadilly within 100. I don't even know if Piccadilly's still a thing.
I was going to say, I don't know that it's still a thing anymore.
I think we should bring it back. Piccadilly, if you're listening, get back to Piccadilly because we need you. But talk about regionalism in the upper Appalachian Highlands, right, as a group, and how you guys are kind of networking with the other cities in your spaces to bring more people here and to share the greatness of our area.
Well, I think we as Visit Johnson City are doing a really decent job at it. But I think that partnering with Northeast Tennessee Tourism Association and Alicia Phelps, that has really helped bolster just our entire collaborative regionalism. And just seeing the value in not only ourselves, but in each space as well, and recognizing that we each have something to offer and each have something to bring to the table, then I think that just only continues to strengthen our position as a region.
Yeah, I agree. It's there are 3 different cities for sure,
Yes.
but we're all, we all have great hearts, and we just love people, and we love our area, and it's, I think it's special. I'm excited actually that we're starting to collaborate more, work together more.
Sure.
And it's, I think it's taking effect really. Instead of competing with each other, we're working together.
Well, I actually went to a conference earlier this year for festivals and events called the Southeast Festival and Events Association. And one of the words that they had used was cooperation.
Oh.
So we are cooperating, but there's still that healthy level of competition of,
like our Meet the Mountains Festival will beat your Meet the Mountains.
That's right. That's right. So there's still a little bit of one-upmanship in that regard, but it's very cooperative and very much we all want to see the region flourish, not just I want to see my thing or my city flourish.
Is Buffalo Mountain taller than Bays Mountain?
Oh, maybe.
I'll say
I think so.
Without fact checking, let's just say yes. So I'm just kidding. We got some dairy things for it.
That's right.
Our dog parks are definitely better too. I don't know what you're, So what do you and your husband like to do for fun here besides go outside? Like, what's a date night look like for you all?
Date night really and truly looks like Mid-City Grill.
Yeah.
Yep. And then just walking around downtown.
Favorite thing on the menu at Mid-City?
Oh man, the Baconator.
Baconator.
Yes.
So good.
Yep.
They have great veggie burgers.
They really,
I mean,
I've been very surprised. Yes,
they're
yes.
like really good. Yeah. So I love it. And then just walking around downtown.
Yeah, walking around downtown or catching a movie. We're both big cinephiles. So
same. Oh, Carly and I love movies. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
We love the movies. And what is your favorite restaurant for like fancy date night?
Ooh, for fancy date night?
Not that Mid-City's not fancy.
I know. Well, we've not been to Juniper yet. We've been told we need to.
It's delicious.
But we do really appreciate both Wansau and Southern Crafts.
So good.
I'm not a light eater. I don't know that makes sense.
You're a healthy eater?
Yes. I'm not a dainty eater. There we go.
Like,
I love a good steak. I love a good barbecue.
Yeah.
And so, Southern Crafts usually hits the spot for both of us.
Their wings are fantastic.
They are. They really are.
Yeah.
But we've both really come to enjoy Wansau a bit more as well.
It is good. That's really good. And their bar, we were there with friends a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And the bar lit up and it's got these, I don't know what those crystal-y things are all throughout. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I think they're
geodes. Yes. Good job. I didn't know the word or couldn't bring it up. So yes, that was awesome. And the food's great. Our friend Nate Buckmaster is kind of helping them and he works for them as well. And Raphael's been on the podcast. So we love that organization. Okay. What would be some more advice for, let's say you don't have a family, but you got a lot of dogs or pets or that kind of stuff. Can they come to the Meet the Mountains Festival?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
August 9th and 10th?
August 9th and 10th.
At the Wing Deer Park?
Yes. It's probably one of the most pet/dog friendly events that we've ever had. We do have it's called Ultimate Air Dogs, which is a dock diving competition. Say that 5 times fast.
Dog diving contest.
Yeah.
I got it once.
But it's truly one of the biggest highlights of the festival.
Are you kidding me? Like you have a deal where you throw it in there and they launch. Because we were watching that on TV the other day, and Carly and I loved it. And it was just awesome.
Yep. And we have, at least from their side of things, from Ultimate Air Dog side, they allow folks that come to the festival to just sign your dog up.
So we can bring I can bring my little scrappy dogs that can't probably jump more than 4 feet, and they're gonna be like, "Are you kidding me, man? Like we're not doing that."
But we have folks that come to the festival just to have their dogs
to have their
in
air
it.
dog. Yeah, that's awesome. When is that happening at the festival?
We'll put that schedule out very soon. They actually have not given that to us yet either. If it's anything like last year, it will be, I think, a couple shows in the evening on Friday, but then a majority of the day Saturday. Yes.
And how can people find the schedule should they wish to go look at it?
That'll be on our website. Yes.
Which is
www.mtmfest.org.
mtmfest.org.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Okay. What are anything else that we hadn't asked you about the festival that you're like, oh yeah, do you guys have music?
Oh, yes. Yes, we do.
Well, that's good.
Yep. We are going to have 4 bands. We traditionally have had between like 8 and 12.
Okay.
But we're scaling back this year. We recognized last year that stretching the festival all the way from Meredith Pavilion down to the lakefront, which if you look on Google Maps is a pretty long stretch of the park itself. It just didn't work out.
Right.
We do have some education clinics that we offer throughout the festival, and those were situated at Meredith Pavilion, but they just weren't well attended because of how far it was from the rest of the festival.
Mm-hmm.
So this year we're scaling back on music altogether with 4 bands, and then we are situating the education pieces in the off time when music's not playing or when there aren't any bands playing. And so we're hoping that brings more people to the education clinics and just brings more awareness to the education clinics themselves. But we have a great lineup of education folks and a great lineup of music, which we'll be announcing all of that very soon.
Awesome. Okay. And any like breweries or any of that stuff happening or no?
Oh, yeah. We've got several of the local distributors as well as JC Brewing. We do have another partnership with JC Brewing.
Not that I have to have a beer, but it just makes it better.
That's right. Being outside.
I was asking for Mitch. He texted me. He's like, ask about beer, Colin. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to, but okay, Mitch, I will.
We do have the same partnership collaboration with JC Brewing again this year that we had last year, which was to create Banjo's Golden Ale.
Nice.
And it's a golden ale with a raspberry puree mixed in.
Ooh.
So it's very tasty. It sold out, I think, much faster than Eric ever dreamed that it would last year.
That's
he
awesome.
had to be quick and
so he's probably
get
brewing more. They're
So-
like literally like a space over.
Yes.
Hurry up and brew that stuff.
That's right. We actually have the opportunity to help brew the beer itself, and we're going to do that next week.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're very excited.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. Let's say somebody's like, man, this Tosha lady is cool. I want to connect with her directly. How do they reach you to find out more? Or they want to volunteer, they want to come help set up tents and
Of course.
test all the beers. I don't know.
That sounds weird. You can email me directly at Yoder, which is YODER at visitjohnsoncitytn.com.
Okay.
Or you can just visit the Visit Johnson City website, and my information's on there as well.
Gotcha. Track it down that way.
Yeah.
Where is the Johnson City Visitor Center? Well, we got you. I
Yeah.
mean, Alec told us, but we can get it. Well,
Of
hit
course.
some more stuff. Get the Google juice going.
That's right. The Visitor Center is located right next to Burger and Barrel and right across from Yeehaw Brewing.
Yeah. So
It's a great
downtown
spot.
Johnson City, it's a great spot. You guys are in a hot spot.
Yes.
Yeah. And you got, do you ever go to Shamrock for milkshakes?
Oh, yeah. We actually just went to the Shamrock this morning for breakfast.
That place is,
Yes.
I may have said it a number of times on the show, but I go there to get keys made.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're the only ones with
The
the
most
old
random
school key thing.
Yes.
And I'm like, but every time the key works.
Yep.
Like I've been to Lowe's, not to hate on my buddy Jason, but I'll go and I'll get a key and it comes back and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
They're getting a lot better, I will say that. But it's so like they've taken the human element out of it.
Yes.
Which I guess because of it. But the old key thing's great. And then you get a milkshake. It smells unbelievably in there with
Oh,
all
yeah.
the cigars.
Yeah. The first time I ever went in there to get a copy of a key made, I thought, you gotta be kidding me, right? Because I only know it as a tobacco and an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I saw the machine and I just thought, all right, here we are.
Yeah. And they always look at it, match it up. She's like, no, I don't think this is quite right. She
Yeah.
put it back on there. And
She was really good.
They do a great job. Jack's a good dude. I need to get him on here. Jack, if you're listening, come on.
That's right.
Okay, last question.
Sure.
What gets you fired up?
Just in general or about the festival?
We could do, I know you're promoting the festival, so let's talk about what gets you fired up first about the festival.
Really just the ability to know that I'm helping bring families, again, that don't necessarily have the means or the time to go out and do some of these activities.
Yeah.
I'm getting the chance to bring them here
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
And for them to be able to experience it.
Stuff for little
Firsthand.
kids to do too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Old kids,
Yeah,
middle
absolutely.
kids. So like if you're like, I don't think I should load the kids up and take them over there. It's going to be boring for them, or maybe.
No, do it.
It's going to be awesome.
Yes. We have some close family friends who brought their 4, 6, and 11-year-olds last year, and they loved it. I mean, she texted me later in the day and said, we ended up staying for 3 hours. So, and
That's
the
good.
playground being at Wingder Park
Right.
also really
That's true.
helps.
There you go.
So there truly is something for
And there's a lake
every
if
age.
you want to go for a swim.
That's
It's
right.
going to be hot August
I mean,
9th and 10th.
probably.
Usually
We'll
hot
see.
around August 9th or 10th.
Yep. So yeah,
That's awesome.
just knowing that I get to help those kids experience something worthwhile.
Yeah, and then connecting with all the people that you're bringing to set up stuff, all the vendors, all the organizations. It's probably just a lot of fun connecting with all those people.
It is, and it's really interesting to see the different dynamics at play.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, really fun to connect all the dots together too.
Yeah. All right. So just in general, what gets you fired up?
Oh man. Just in general.
You're like, it's going to be the best day ever. And it's not August 9th or 10th.
Really and truly, I think my family is probably the biggest source of my
Joy.
let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. And having kids brings a different sense of that.
Totally does.
Especially when something clicks for them that maybe you've told them over and over again, but you get to see it click.
Yes.
But not be on the like nagging end of things.
Correct. Yep. I
And
get
you're
it.
just like, oh, this is this parenting moment that I was meant to have right now.
Yeah.
But also just enjoying my time with my husband. We got to go away for the weekend this past weekend.
Where'd you guys go?
We went to Franklin, North Carolina.
Oh.
But just knowing that all 3 of our kids would be self-sufficient. Granted, we don't know how often they brush their teeth, but we knew
the
that
house was still there when you
that's
got
right.
home.
That's right. We knew that if they needed to get out of the house, they could get out quickly. We gave them cash. They went and got themselves pizza on Saturday night.
Look at that.
So just knowing that that we have allowed them that freedom and responsibility, that they're taking hold of that and allowing my husband and I time away for ourselves has been really, really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, of course.
Well, anything else I didn't ask you I should have?
I don't think so, but the festival's August 9th and 10th. Just in
Did
case
you say
you were
August
wondering.
9th and
I
10th?
did.
At
in
Wingdeer
fact.
Park?
At Wingdeer Park. The lakefront.
Is it the Meet the Mountains Festival?
It is. But
Okay.
come to the lakefront, not the softball.
How many
fields.
mountains show up? That's my question.
Maybe one.
Okay. Hey, that's better than none.
Ah, that's right.
Hey, we have to move. We have faith to move mountains, right? They may show up.
That's
don't know.
right. Just right there in the lake.
We're just kidding, Lord. We didn't ring all the mountains, so we need room for our festival here. So anyway, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with Tosha today and learning all about the Meet the Mountains Festival on August 9th and 10th.
Yes.
There's no reason you shouldn't go down there. And
That's right.
I'm excited to watch the dogs. I think that is going to be a blast. Carly and I are probably going to come and bring I don't think we're going to bring our dogs. They're too little.
That's all
They
right.
jump 6 inches. And,
I mean, still bring your dogs and at least hang out. We have several vendors that will put out either dog treats that they've homemade and or bowls of water. So
that's good. And bring dog bags for
yeah,
the poo.
Absolutely.
Like, if your dog comes, bring the poo bag. Come
That's
on.
right.
It's your responsibility. It's my PSA for the afternoon. So anyway, thank you all for listening, and thanks for putting up with me. Until next time, I'm Colin Johnson. If you want to make a move to Johnson City and meet Tosha and the mountains, I'd love to help you move here. We also do a lot of property management. If you want to invest in real estate, build wealth through that, it's an unbelievable way to do that. And we'd help you manage that and help you acquire it all too. So thanks so much, and have a great day.